21st Century Entrepreneurship with Martin Piskarik.
How to make six figures in 6 months investing in real estate. Martin, thank you for having me on your show today. I'm super excited to be on here. My name is Dwan Bent-Twyford. I am America's most sought-after real estate investor, and I also have a podcast that is called the most Dwanderful Real Estate Podcast Ever. So I took my first name, Dwan, and I matched it up with wonderful and became Dwanderful. That's my deal, Dwanderful. My message is people before profits. So you just do everything that you do, put the people first, the money will come. And the way I got started, I was actually married. I was 30 years old, had an 8-month-old baby, and my husband and I split up really super unexpectedly. So now I have an 8-month-old baby, and he took all the money out of the bank and took the car. So I ended up having my car repossessed. I lost my house in foreclosure. I had $75 in my purse, and I was all of a sudden now I was a single broke mom, and like a broke ass mom. And the last job I'd had was at Denny's. So Martin, I don't know if you know Denny's. It's an American restaurant, and I was fired. Everyone else knows. I was fired from Denny's on third shift. So I was at like the bottom of the rung. And so I was like, all right. And I'm 30. So I was like, well, I have to make a decision to either go to work and support my daughter, or I could try to work for myself and raise her that way. And I wanted to be the Girl Scout mom, the homeroom mom, the cookie mom, the field trip mom. I wanted to do all those things, so I realized that I couldn't do that with a job. So I decided to set out on something I could do from home. And I met some people that were real estate investors, and they said, oh yeah, we buy houses and we fix them up and we sell them. And I thought, okay, buy them, fix them up and sell them. How hard could that be? And I went and digging and found my first deal, moved in, fixed it up, sold it, made $22,000 profit. And that was all she wrote. And so now I've been investing for 35 years. One of the most important questions I get right now, everyone's like, what am I going to do about the market? The market. Everyone's just terrified of what's happening. So I just want to share something that I do. So for me personally, all of my deals, I work with people that are in distress. So I have already closed over 2,000 personal deals. And right now in Clinton, Iowa, my husband and I basically are rehabbing an entire town. So I have gobs of experience, but I have found over the decades that I personally like to work with people that are in distress. So they're like in foreclosure, they're going through a divorce, somebody got sick, they had a job transfer, someone died, a probate, and all those things are at the public record. So if you're sort of new, you're like, I don't know where to start, just every city, every county in the whole entire United States has all of their foreclosure, all that stuff is online. So go look at the foreclosures. It'll say like, here's this house is in foreclosure, the sale date is in 90 days. Look at the foreclosures, the probates, the divorces, the bankruptcies, the people that haven't paid real estate taxes, and the landlords who just completed evictions. So whether we have a good market, even like in COVID, all those reasons for people going into foreclosure, they exist within the country, no matter what's happening in the market. So if the market is great, there are people still dying, getting sick, going into foreclosure, losing jobs. Still, the market's great, those things still exist. So I have found a way to keep myself always busy, having an endless amount of people to work with, is working with the people that are at the courthouse. And I know for some of you, you're like, oh, that sounds so basic. Let me tell you something. That's where everybody's at. There are hundreds of thousands, like in Denver right now, there's like 27,000 people in some phase of foreclosure. There are foreclosures everywhere, every state, every city, everywhere. So instead of trying to do all this shiny object stuff that y'all see online. Like, this is a way to stop doing all that. Just go to the courthouse, reach out to the people. You can find everybody in the world on Facebook. I just direct message people right on Facebook. You can find the cell phone, like, you can find everything. Just use the really simple, basic things and don't overcomplicate real estate investing. It's not that complicated of a thing. And finding deals the way I do it, it doesn't matter what's happening in the market. Those things are still happening to people in the world because that's the day in, day out. That's just how society works. All the things are still happening every single solitary day. So the market doesn't matter. Now, if you're trying to buy from a real estate agent or commercial or something else, the markets matter. But when you're working with those people in the foreclosures, the divorces, the probates, that happens every day, 24 hours a day, around the clock, all the time. So it doesn't matter about the market, doesn't matter if it's a holiday, doesn't matter if Charlie Kirk got shot, it doesn't make any difference. Those things still happen all the time. So people have to stop thinking about the market and just think about the people. One of the things I am really big on, and any of you that ever train with me or have seen me live or ever plan to see me, you'll find out that one of the things I talk about are the 5 mindsets that the homeowners go through. Like, say they're in foreclosure, maybe they lost their job and the spouse, and they got a divorce. It took 2 incomes to make the house. This income is leaving. This income can't make it happen. So I focus, like I said, on the people, not the market. So the market is good. People are still sick, dying, cancer, divorce, foreclosure. Same. The market's great. Same. So when you focus on the people, then there's a couple things you have to be aware of. So, like, for example, if I was going to talk to Martin and he was in foreclosure, I just wouldn't go, hey, Martin, I'm here to buy your house. Sell me your house, because nobody wants to hear that. So I'm going to go and approach a homeowner and I'm going to say, hey, listen, I understand you're in a tough situation. I also lost a house. I 100% understand how you feel. I have some options I can give you to help you buy time to stay in your home. So I give people these 10 options, and the 10 options are like a loan modification, forbearance agreement, short sale, equity partnering. I give them a bunch of options for free. Here's some free information. And then what happens is the homeowner now will relax and talk to me, because I'm not standing there like, I want to buy your house, I want to buy your house, I want to buy your house. I'm like, hey, I know what you're going through. Here's some options to buy time. Stay where you put. Because homeowners go through kind of like the stages of grief. They're in denial. It's not me. You got the wrong house, not my house. And they're angry. Get off my porch. And then they're like, oh my God, thank God you're here. I need help. So your job is to recognize mentally where they're at, and they might not be ready for you. So you have to give them some information and follow up and say, hey, how you doing? How's this? How's the job hunting? How's that going? Okay, did you try a loan modification? It's not panning out. Well, let's try this. So it's our job to sort of be like a little bit of a counselor and understand where people are it's just like the stage, not exactly, but it's kind of like the stages of grief where you're bargaining, you're all the things. And then one day you go like, I got to move out. I'm losing my house. I need Dwan to help me out. So if y'all will spend more time focusing on the homeowner and where they are and not on you and getting a paycheck, you will find out that you will get so many deals. Like I said, I've done over 2,000 deals, and most of them were not knocked on the door, talked to the person, boom, got a deal. They were a little bit of follow-up. They were talking. They were helping. They were praying with people. And then they're like, you know what, Dwan, I'm ready. I need help. I want you to do it. That is how you build a business. So you have to, that's why I say people before profits. It's the person, and it's just know where they are. And you can tell where they're at. If they're like, get out my porch, don't talk to me. Why are you calling? They're angry. It's okay. Anger, it's only a stage. Just wait until they're in acceptance. It's not a big deal. So you just have to learn how to follow through with people to get them to want to work with you, because you're offering solutions, not, I want to buy your house. So if you can change what you say and think of it that way, you'll be shocked how many more deals you'll get compared to other investors. the things you got to all be careful about when you're first starting out is you really have to worry about following the wrong person, or not knowing enough, or trying, or wasting too much time trying to learn. I meet people all the time. They go, "Oh, I'm going to get an LLC and a website, and then I'll be ready to become a real estate investor." And honest to God, I see them a year later, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm still working on my website." And so people procrastinate, 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 and then other people will just see some shiny object online, that's somebody that's a great marketer. It's like, hey, here's a shiny object. You can print checks while you're sleeping. I know y'all have seen those ads. And nothing pisses me off more than stuff like that. Because what happens is you have a person that's a great marketer, but they don't know anything about the basics of real estate investing to teach you how to be good at it. So the shiny object syndrome is like, that will land you in a big old giant pile of shit because you're not going to know what you're doing. So obviously, I'm always everyone's best choice to, like, hey, Dwan could help me figure it out. But even if you're starting, you're thinking about starting, you don't know, you've been, contemplating, just whatever it is, you have to find, this is my number one piece of advice. You have to find a person where your moral compass aligns with their moral compass. And that is the person that can teach you and train you. And one of the reasons I call this session Six Figures in 6 Months, my average part-time student makes $108,000 in their first 6 months. But I make them learn the scripts and learn how to talk to the homeowners. I put the homeowners first and stop thinking about the deal and thinking about the money. And then I make them run their deals by me, because I have made so many mistakes. When I was doing this 35 years ago, and I can remember, this is no Google, no YouTube, no cell phones, not even pagers yet. We're still using telephone booths, hand maps, and I'm sure, every mistake that could have possibly been made. So my goal is to actually help people cut their learning curve so that you can service the homeowner better and you can learn everything I know in a shorter amount of time, because my learning curve was long. I mean, probably for 5 or 6 or 7 years, I made so many mistakes, only because there was nobody out, nobody teaching, there was nothing. Now, the other side of the fence, now there's so much, there's 100,000 million videos, and you don't know if that's good information either. So align your moral compass with somebody and look at them and Google them. And, oh, you know what? I feel like we could get along. That's where you need to start. Another great tip for all of you also is, if you're going to get involved in real estate investing, it's important to find out what you're interested in. Like, some people I know, they only rehab. They buy them, they fix them up, they sell them. Other people I know only buy rentals. They say never sell a property, keep everything. Other people I know wholesale. Like, I made my initial money from wholesaling. I'd find a house, I would sell it to a rehabber. I would make this thing called an assignment fee. And that's how I made my first $1 million, was wholesaling. And I always tell people, listen, if you don't know where to start wholesaling. It is the path of least resistance. It's the least amount of mistakes that you can make, and it's a big reward. And then other people are like, oh, I want to do short sales. I want to work at the bank. I want to get the houses down. So there are so many avenues, but I'm gonna get a word of caution. If you're really new and someone's like, hey, jump in with me, let's buy a 100-unit apartment complex, you got to really think about that. Because do you really even know what you're doing? Do you know how to do the numbers, the cap rates? Do you know how to do anything? Are you trusting the other person? Do you really know what they know? Like, there's just a lot of things in real estate investing. So I always tell people, if you're like fresh up, like if you're like fresh meat, you should start wholesaling, because it really is. You find a homeowner, a house, and you sell it to a rehabber, you make some money in between. You make $25,000, $30,000, $40,000 a check. And in a really short amount of time, you could maybe quit your job, become a full-time investor. You could get involved in stuff like that. And the one great thing about me is I cover all of those topics, because I've been investing for 35 years. So there's literally not anything you could say, hey, Dwan, can you teach me this? The answer is always yes. Always yes. Always yes. I've done everything. I don't think there's anything ever that I haven't done. So, But I learned, again, learning a long learning curve. The actual name of my company is Financial Freedom Through Foreclosure. And so I mean that in a couple of different ways. First of all, I would like all of you to be financially free. And by financially free, I mean working for yourself, being able to take more vacation. Like, the thing is with real estate investing, when you're learning a new business, some people just will work like 100 hours a week and they do it for decades and they're so burned out and they're just like, they drop off or they make some big giant mistake and, everything just falls apart for them. So I always think that like financial freedom is not always about money. It's like, for the last couple of weeks, I've been babysitting my grandkids while my son's traveling in Europe. Well, a lot of people just can't take, a few weeks off and just hang out with kids all the time. And my son is in Europe on an anniversary. So we have raised our family with the mindset of creating generational wealth. So like, I'm from Ohio and my husband is from Iowa. So very Midwestern. And so we are the first two people in both lines of our family. We're the first two people that became millionaires and we became millionaires together. So like, okay. So then we're like, why didn't our dad or our grandfather or great grandfather, why didn't somebody else years ago start like the generational wealth? So one thing is it has to start somewhere. So being like, okay, we're going to start generational wealth. We're going to teach our kids and our grandkids and pass things down so that we can change our family bloodlines, but also we can do more things for charity. We can do more things for other people. We can have a better quality of life. I know how many of you are like, oh my God, thank God it's Friday. And Sunday, like, oh, I don't want to go back to work tomorrow. And you hate that. So why are you living like that? You're making the choice to live that way. And that's a poor choice for most of you, especially like right now, people get fired left and right, government layoffs, all this stuff happens. And I don't feel like anyone's job is secure. I think the old mindset that we had in America of like, work for the factories, work for the man, work for this, do that, and you'll just retire and that'll be fine. I don't feel like that's a reality anymore. So I feel like all the new people coming up, there's no man to work for. So why not just work and you do it for yourself. And then you can have, obviously you'll have a lot of days in real estate where you're like, why am I doing this? But you'll be able to give to charities and do nice things and participate and help people and families and maybe your own kids and your grandkids. And next thing you know, 10 decades from now, they're like, oh, remember when great Dwan started this with great Bill, and your whole family has changed. But somebody's got to always be first. So I always like, listen, be the first one, step up. You be the change. You be the change. I think that's from a movie. You be the change that you want to see. And just, do right by people. Be a good person. There's so many crappy, shady people out there right now. It really upsets me how bad people are. So you be the change that you want to see. I have really enjoyed talking to all of you today. All y'all. It's a little southern in there. And we have covered a lot, like how I got started and, being a better person for yourself, generational wealth, about the markets, the kind of people that you want to work with. So the market really doesn't matter. The people, the piece of the niche that I carve out, it's not ran by markets. So that's why I always am suggesting that you guys start like I did there, because you don't have to worry about what's happening. And as we know, like the whole world's on fire right now. But you know what? The world was on fire 5 years ago with COVID. The world was on fire in 2008 when the housing crashed. And then that .com, like all the stuff. The world's always on fire. So if you wait till the fire's out, you're just going to be sitting where you're at right now and 5 years from now. So I would like you to go over to my website, dwanderful.com. Dwanderful, so DWANDERFUL, dwanderful.com. And a little thing will pop up and it'll say, take my real estate investing quiz. And just take the quiz. It's super fun. It'll kind of show you where you're at, what you're kind of a person you are, what you're going to do when you make money, and how you want to make money, and how you want to start, and when you want to start. It's a super fun quiz. And you could register for one of my webinars. I have a really great webinar coming up that's how to make 6 figures in 6 months investing in real estate. So it's an hour-and-a-half webinar. I also do 2-day online workshops with 8 full 1.5-hour sessions. You'll learn so much on that. You'll be like, wow, I can't believe how much information this girl knows. And I've got ebooks, just so many things. I have so many things for you because I just want you all to get started. So webinars free, ebooks are free. Just go to dwanwonderful.com and just get involved and let me meet you and start following me on Facebook, Instagram, everything is Dwanderful. So just start following me on all of the places. I do videos and I actually answer all my people that like and ask questions. I do it all myself. I don't have a team that does that for me. That's one thing I still keep true is I deal with my homeowners in person, and I deal with all my people, students, and stuff in person as well. So if you ask a question, I will be the one personally answering it. So you can't delegate every single solitary thing. So as you become an investor and you grow and your business is good, delegate as much as you can, but keep the pieces that are important to you, keep those close to your heart. Because that's when the people get a chance to actually get to know you. And the more people like you, the more they get to know you, the more they want to work with you. I know y'all love me, so dwanwonderful.com and check out what I've got.
21st Century Entrepreneurship with Martin Piskarik.
Imagine a space where triumphs, trials, and tales of entrepreneurship come alive. Welcome to the 21st Century Entrepreneurship Podcast, a gold awarded journey hosted by Martin Piskarik, connecting with listeners in 95 countries and ranking in the top 0.5% of all podcasts. Join our exclusive community, elevate your perspective, and embark on the path to success.